meant that in the Egyptians' eyes, they were not just stronger, but right. Jews thought the opposite and expressed this through the Torah. For the Israelites, strength is not important when it comes to morality. Another second example was that in Egypt, each life was worth a certain amount of money depending on who that person was and what they did for work and who their parents were. Highest on the food chain was Pharaoh. Next was the nobles, then the merchants, then artisans, then laborers, and finally last were the slaves. However, in the Jewish civilization, the Torah teaches the Jews that everyone has infinite worth based on B'Tselem Elohim, the image of God, no matter who your parents were or what you did for work. Finally, in Egypt, there were different laws for different groups, and the higher groups could abuse the lower groups without getting in trouble. For example, if a noble killed a farmer, then they wouldn't be in too much trouble. But if it was the other way around, the farmer and his family would be killed as punishment. As opposed to this, the Jewish civilization democratized the law so that everyone was equal with one law. For instance, the king can't kill a worker, nor can the worker kill the king, because they are both considered equal in the eyes of God. My Torah portion is Tetzaveh from the book of Exodus, which translates to, "You shall command." It starts with God commanding Moses, "You shall command the sons of Israel to use pure olive oil for kindling the light of the lamps. Aaron shall set this light up to burn continuously in the sanctuary. It will serve as a light for God for all generations." The eternal light that is referred to here is what is called the Ner Tamid, and every Jewish synagogue has one. That's there. The origin of the Ner Tamid is God creating Adam. He makes Adam out of dirt and breathes a soul into him. This means Adam has a piece of God in him, and so do we all. We are all B'Tselem Elohim, made in the image of God. The thought is that after we die, our soul returns to its source, which is God. It is a cycle, like a wave returning to the ocean. God gives us our soul, then lets us use it, then takes it back after we die. The Ner Tamid is a symbol of the Jewish people's eternal relationship and connection with God. Becoming a bar mitzvah means that I am choosing to take my Judaism seriously. This process has helped me develop into Jewish adulthood. I've grown as a person and as a Jew, and will continue to be a good Jewish person. Judaism will help as an active role in my adulthood today by wearing this talit. To me, it symbolizes a new start, a new journey of Judaism and adulthood. I will continue to be a Jewish man and go to synagogue for some holidays. Tikkun Olam means repairing the world, but it really means more. It means that Jews are supposed to fix the broken world and heal it. According to the sages, this is the reason we are here. This is the reason we are us. Every individual Jew is supposed to do their part in fixing the world. For my bar mitzvah project, I went to a wheelchair basketball league called Blaze Sports. The players were anywhere from second graders to seniors in high school. They ranged from having 2 non-working legs to having amputations. I love basketball so much because I get to have fun, have competition, and move around a lot. I think they love basketball for the same reasons. Even though basketball may be harder for them, it still brings them joy. The difference between me and them is basketball is it is easier for me to move. It is very impressive that they can move as fast as they can, even being in a wheelchair. It involves crazy arm strength too. For my project, I did the shot clock and the game clock for 2 separate games. It made me feel happy that I could help out and make sure the league ran well. It was stressful too. I had lots of responsibilities for the games. If I messed up, it was hard to fix, especially for the shot clock. It was worth it in the end though, and I'm glad I could help them out. My project was fixing the world by helping people in need. I might not have physically helped them throughout the game, but I did help them through spirit. I helped them know the score and how much time is left on the shot clock. I'm glad I could help such an amazing community. I know that I have many people to thank for helping me get here today. To all my friends, thank you for being here. I'm glad you could come and help me celebrate this achievement. It makes me so happy to see so many friends, but I want to give a shout out to my friend Jay from my sleepaway camp, 6 points. Jay, thank you and your family so much for coming all the way from Florida. You are my best friend at camp, and without you it would be not as fun. Rachel, you're another example. Even though you didn't come from out of state, you're just as important. To my sister Mindy, I love you. Jokes aside, you are the best sister ever. You helped me so much, especially with school. I couldn't finish all those projects without you. Thank you so much for baking yummy cookies. Well, at least some of them. Elise, I really appreciate all your efforts to hang out together, even if it means listening to Taylor Swift. Time with you is always fun, and I enjoy our weekends together. Dad, I love how we are always out and about together, searching for the next best place for breakfast. I know that our time together, fighting for the space on the couch, is how we bond, and I really value watching sports right next to you. We have a great relationship. I appreciate that you make such a huge effort to drive me to school in the morning, even when I'm not at your house. I know that our time together is more than about the drive. You are the best dad ever. Love you. Mom, you are so cool. I don't know any other mom who takes her 7th grade son to see 80s cover bands. And when we drive together, music is always on. We are always talking, and I know we could talk about anything. I have the best memories of you making your famous cheesy bread, hot gooey with garlic, and then us eating it together at the kitchen table. You do so much to make me the guy that I am. You're the best mom ever. I love you. Thank you everyone for being here, and I can't wait to see everyone tomorrow at Fairway Social. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Well, I don't think there's any doubt that we just heard from a young man who really, Sam, you had a lot to say, and we really appreciate it. Friends, on the Haftorah blessings can be found on page 42 and 43 of your black prayer book. And if you want to follow along with the Haftorah, which is Judges 5, 9 through 13, it's on page 54, 5-4 of the black prayer book. Today is Shabbat Zachor, which is our Shabbat of memory, and the memory is of Amalek. Amalek is significant. It's the group that is always in strife with the Jewish people, and your Torah portion reflects that sometimes we have to stand up, we have to defend ourselves, and when we're doing it, it's not just with our might, but with our faith in one another and in the divine. So when you're ready, Sam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'nviim tovim v'ratzah b'divreihem hane'emarim ba'emet. Baruch atah Adonai aboher b'torah u'Moshe abdo v'Yisrael amo u'b'nbiei hamet v'atzedek. Levi lokake Yisrael hamin adivim ba'am baruch Adonai rokvei atonot zehorot yoshvei al midin ve'olhei al derech sihu mikol mahatzim bein mashabim sham yatanu tzidkot Adonai tzidkot birzano Israel, Az, Yardu Lasharim, Amadonai. Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Tzur kol ha'alamim, Tzadik b'chol hadorot, Hala ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'medaber kayem, Shekol devarav, emet v'atzedek. HaTorah ve'Havodah ve'Hanevim ve'Yom HaShabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha u'limnuha lehavod u'tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim la u'mvarhim otah yitbarach shemha ve'fi kol hai tamid le'olam va'ed baruch atah Adonai
Shabbat.
Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Beautiful. Page 44, we have the blessing for America. Please join me in our blessing for America on page 44. O God, we invoke your blessing upon our country, the United States of America, as you strive to be a beacon of light in a darkening world. Sustain us during times of uncertainty, guard us from calamity and injury, give us the courage to confront evil, enlighten us with your wisdom, and sustain with your power those whom the people have granted authority, the President, their advisors, and all who are entrusted with our safety. May peace and goodwill, courage, understanding, and hope prevail among all the inhabitants of our land. May your goodness spread its blessing among us and exalt our nation in righteousness. And together we say, Amen. Prayer for the state of Israel on page 45. Please rise, everybody. I'd like to invite up Mindy Feldman to open the Ark. Eitz Chaim can be found on page 45.
Eitz Chaim hi lama chazikim ba v'tovchecha meushar deracheya darchei noam v'chol b'tzivotecha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
Please be seated. So, Sam, we've said it before as part of B'nai Mitzvah, but it's so true of all the things that I get to do as a rabbi here at Temple Emanu-El, including high holidays and ruckus Friday nights and weddings. My most favorite thing, our most favorite thing, is the time we get to spend with our bar and bat mitzvahs leading up to this day. The time that you and I got to spend getting deep and learning what's called Torah Lishma, study for the sake of higher thought, higher thinking. For those who know Sam, I'm sure you know that he's smart. And what you may not know is that he's very deep, okay? And not just for a 13-year-old, like for anybody. He's a deep, deep guy. And that came through very clearly, Sam, when we were studying. So it's not every 13-year-old we can have the conversation about the theological triangle of God being omnipotent, omniscient, and good, and wrestling with the problem of evil and free will. That takes a depth of mind and spirit and character to be able to have those conversations. And you were more than eager, willing, psyched to have those conversations. And that says a lot about you. I love what you wrote. I think it's a perfect Torah portion for you. This idea of the Ner Tamid, right? That we each have a piece of God's light inside us, what we call a soul, and it yearns to connect to the source, and that when we die, we return to the source. But the fact that you can recognize, name it, and recognize that you have this inside you. I have it. We all have it. But when we recognize it, we become something more, at least in that moment. We can recognize other people as something more because they have that same piece of God inside us. And I think that that embodies who you are as a person, the ability to see other people for who they really are and maybe see the best in people, the idea of giving some grace and benefit of the doubt, and in doing so you raise yourself higher. You've got a strong sense of self, and very strong, especially for a 13-year-old. Okay? Teenagers oftentimes don't. There's a swirl of peer pressure and different diversions, so the fact that you have a strong sense of self and a strong sense of who you want to be is a huge, it's a solid foundation for the man that you are and the man you're going to become. So my blessing and my hope for you is you continue on this path. Some will tell you that your kindness, Sam, is a weakness. In Judaism, kindness is looked upon as a strength. Okay? To be kind takes effort and courage. It is a strength. So you keep the kindness, you keep the sense of self, and you grow with it, and you take those around you who you like and who you love with you. And I'm looking forward to lots more time together here at Temple Emanu-El. Friends, what we get to do now is give Sam what's called the priestly benediction. This is the blessing that our people have been giving to our youth at these liminal times since time began as we know it. So if you'll rise and put out your hands as if you are sending him your own blessing, okay?
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai pno v'lecha v'yichoneka.
May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai pno v'lecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's face turn toward you, Sam, and grant you the greatest gift of all, which you have right now, your feet on the ground, surrounded by Torah and Judaism and history and family and friends and community, your whole life ahead of you, a sense of opportunity, connection, and peace. To that we say, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated, except for Sam's parents.
Hello. First, I want to thank everyone for coming from near and far to be a part of Sam's bar mitzvah. It gives me great pleasure to share the simcha with the ones we love. Sam, we are so proud of how well you did today, leading the congregation in prayer this evening. But more than that, we're proud of the wonderful young man you've become. Accordingly, I have written a few words to describe your attributes using the letters in your name, just like I did for your sister. S is for sneakerhead. For those of you who don't know, Sam has a love of sneakers, just like his Uncle Stevie, the original sneakerhead. This first started at a young age when Uncle Stevie gifted him with a cool pair of red and black Air Jordans. These Jordans would always get noticed when we were out and about. Stevie continued to buy him designer shoes throughout his childhood. Who knew that this would stick as he got older? Nowadays, Sam is all about his basketball shoes. This is always his request for birthday and or Hanukkah gifts. If you're interested in knowing the trending basketball shoes, all you have to do is ask Sam. A is for affectionate. Sam has been affectionate from a young age. He has always been generous with his hugs. Even now, at 13, he still wraps his arms around me without hesitation. Those hugs aren't just sweet, they show his warmth, his openness, and his confidence in expressing love. In a world that sometimes tells boys to be tough and guarded, he's shown us that real strength includes tenderness. M is for music lover. How many of you can name the song within the first few beats? I thought this is something unique to me, but I have come to learn that it must be genetic, as Sam can do the same thing. After repeatedly listening to my 80s music on the radio for years, he can now tell you the name of the song immediately, and then he can sing along as he knows most of the words. Sam doesn't just hear music, he feels it. It moves him, inspires him, and gives him a voice. I love watching how completely he immerses himself in it. And yes, I am listening to you every night as you sing away in the shower. That passion, that ability to be moved so deeply is one of the things that makes you who you are. U is for unbelievable. Last year, Sam told me that he was going to follow in his sister's footsteps and join the crew for the school play. You can only imagine my surprise when he informed me that he had changed his mind and was now interested in auditioning for a role. Without any real theater experience, he studied hard for the audition and was rewarded with the role that he wanted. I can't explain the feelings I had to see Sam debut on stage, confident in his role without any prior experience. It was, you guessed it, unbelievable. He set his mind to it and was able to accomplish his goal. I look forward to this year's play in a few weeks, as well as next year's, where I can't wait to see him back on the stage. E is for enjoys basketball. When Sam was younger, I registered him for soccer. This lasted 1 year. Then I tried baseball. This lasted 2 years. And then there was basketball. Something was different than before. Sam was interested in playing more than 2 seasons. He was also interested in improving. For several years, Sam attended a basketball clinic to do just this. He has also attended a sports sleepaway camp with the basketball concentration. This year, he made the school team and continued with the other rec league that he had been playing in. 2 basketball leagues. Mom Uber was in full effect. Sam also watches the Atlanta Hawks and the NBA. He knows lots about the players and season. He has actually taught me a thing or two, as basketball has never been one of my specialties. L is for loved. Sam, take a look at all the people who are here for you today. You are so deeply, completely, and unconditionally loved. From the moment you were born, you filled our lives with joy. And as you stand here today at 13, that love has only grown stronger. You are loved by your family, your friends, and everyone lucky enough to know you. I'm so proud of you and all that you have accomplished, and can't wait to see what the future holds. I love you.
Sam, you have worked so hard in preparing for your bar mitzvah, and I'm so proud of you for this accomplishment. You worked long hours and put a lot of effort into it, and I'm very proud of this day. I just wanted to thank everyone for coming, thank the entire staff of Temple Emanu-El, and all the family members and guests here, from those who came from far away and locally on Sam's special day. Sam has matured quite a bit, in his early years from now, progressed in his delivery and in his schoolwork and all of his efforts, and I'm so proud of all that, and as that continues. Sam is very thoughtful, caring, and collaborates really well with all of his friends and his classmates. He always tries his best. Sam is also very appreciative of and loves his older sister, Mindy, and is very protective of her, and the bond between them is very special. Sam is also very dedicated to his bar mitzvah project and the time and effort he put into working with the disabled and others engaged in sports, and that's something he was very proud of, and I was proud to go with him with that. And I'll continue the progression from I remember early days from my bar mitzvah and how excited I was on that special day, and this time today just reminds me of how much our faith means to us. I always hope you continue to make good choices in life. I'm so lucky to have such a smart, dedicated, and caring son. I'm so proud of you and grateful for being your dad. And as you continue to be an amazing son, I can't wait to see what is ahead for you in the future. Love you.
Beautiful. All right, parents, stay with us. Many of you will come on up. We're going to all rise on page 46. And Sam and many of you will open the ark together, and mom and dad right behind them. Page 46, Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol,
Latek gdila yotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'gei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamalchim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom mahu Ushemo, Echad. We'll close the ark. Friends can be seated. Family to the bima. So Sam, we talked about how the Jewish generations are here and that they're smiling. Your family on this day particularly remembers Marilyn Auerbach, Sylvia Clow, Al and Marcia Feldman, Max and Helen Feldman, Reva and Clay Turner, and Max Feldman. If you are in the Shloshim period of mourning, the first 30 days after a loved one's passing, we invite you to rise now and be recognized. And please remain standing. If you're in the first year of mourning a loved one's passing, we ask you to rise and be recognized. Please remain standing. If it is your custom to rise in solidarity, or for the 6 million who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we invite you to do so now. If you're saying Kaddish for someone in particular, or if your family is remembering somebody in particular at this time, I invite you to just picture them in your mind and picture them right here next to you. Picture them at their best, healthy, hale, and strong. And in your mind's eye, your gaze meets theirs. Your eyes lock, and together you slowly begin to smile. If your eyes are closed, you can flutter them open. Kaddish Tome is on page 48. Yikadal, Yikadash Me Rabbah. Be'oma divrach yirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon, v'yomechon, v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'glav yizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach, v'yistabach, v'yipa'ar, v'yitraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitala, v'yitala, Shmei dukudsha, b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'charta v'nechamata, Dami Rambi Alma Vimru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, Yechaim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael Vimru Amen. Osei Shalom Vimru Mav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael Vimru Amen.
Osei
Shalom Vimru Mav, Huya Aseh Shalom Aleinu. Shalom Aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'yimeru Amen. Zikron the bracha. On page 50 and 51, we have our Havdalah. And family, if you'll come to the lower stair. Friends, we begin Shabbat by lighting candles. And we end Shabbat by lighting more than a candle. It's interwoven candles that form a torch. The idea that we are holy and strong when we are together. Havdalah brings in all of our senses, sight and touch and smell and hearing, with the idea that we bring everything we have into Havdalah and a piece of Shabbat into the week to come. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri
lechol. Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol, Chatotenu hu yimchol, Zarenu v'chatzpenu yarbe kachol, v'chakochavim halayla.
Eliyahu hanavi, Eliyahu hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu hagiladi, bimhera yamenu, yavo eleinu, Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David.
Simitov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simitov, Simitov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simitov, Simitov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simitov.
Yehelanu, 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 Uvechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Uvechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Uvechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Uvechol Yisrael. Mazel tov, everybody. Shavua tov.